If you're going on a cruise, there are some things you know you need to bring, like medications, your passport, and a toothbrush, but there are some things that may not be quite so obvious. In fact, I've got a list of 10 things you should definitely have packed away if you're going on a cruise. I'm Jeff, and here's my top 10 countdown plus a little bonus information at the end. Number 10 is clothes hangers. When I get to my cabin, one of the first things I like to do is unpack. For a 7-day cruise, there's usually plenty of hangers for 2 people, but if you have more than 2 people in your cabin, or if you're planning a longer cruise, you'll start to go through those hangers pretty quickly. Now, you can ask your cabin steward for more hangers and they'll be happy to bring them, but it may take a little while. Why make extra work for them when it's so easy to pop a few extra hangers in your suitcase? Tip number 9 also has to do with clothing. Now, my wife came up with this idea, and it's a good one. Bring a trash bag or a laundry bag with you to put dirty laundry in. It keeps your dirty clothes together, and it keeps it out of sight during your cruise. So I thought long and hard about the best way to tell you about the 8th thing on our countdown, so let me put this as delicately as I can. There's a good chance your cabin is going to be pretty small. There's also a good chance that you're going to be trying some new foods on your cruise, which is great, but sometimes new foods don't agree with your stomach and, well, let's just say that it wouldn't be a terrible idea to bring a little squirt bottle of air freshener with you. As I just mentioned, your cabin is probably going to be a little bit small and there won't be a whole lot of storage area. That's why I always make sure we pack suggestion number 7, an over-the-door organizer to put on the bathroom door. Now, there's a variety of different over-the-door organizers you can choose from, but I'd like to recommend a shoe holder. The pockets are big and deep and just perfect for holding things like shampoo bottles, curling irons, compact umbrellas, bottles of sunscreen, electric shavers, and much more. Cabin bathrooms usually don't have a whole lot of counter space, so you'll find an over-the-door hanger to be very useful. Now, no matter where you cruise, there's a chance that you might get rained on. Now, this is especially true in Alaska and in tropical ports. So for the 6th item that you should pack away, make a quick visit to your local dollar store and pick up a cheap mini umbrella and maybe a rain poncho. Sure, you can probably buy them in the port, but you'll have to wait in line to get one, and they'll probably be more expensive. And really, they don't take up very much room in your luggage. 5 tips down, 5 more to go. Hey, I would really appreciate it if you'd take just a moment to click the like button on this video and please consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything to do that and it really does help this channel out. Finally, click that notification bell if you want to be the first to know when I upload new videos. Let's move right along to number 5 on the list, a journal and a pen. At the end of each night on the cruise, my wife and I sit down and we write down a few thoughts about the day. Maybe it's someplace we visited or someone we met or something funny that happened to us. Your cruise is going to be full of cool little details that you're probably gonna forget. By writing them down, they'll live on forever. As a bonus, my wife and I find it a lot of fun to pull out the journals years later and read what we wrote to one another. Without a journal, I wouldn't remember little details like how I tried cold banana soup, got a rash on my neck after someone put a boa constrictor over my shoulders, or had a tour guide nearly convince us that the chicken we were eating was really iguana. Pack a journal and write every night before bed. You'll be glad you did. The countdown continues at number 4, a luggage scale. If you go to check in for your flight and your luggage is over the limit, you're going to get dinged for some extra charges. By bringing a luggage scale with you, you can be sure that those extra souvenirs you picked up in the ports aren't going to lead to overweight suitcases. Coming in at number 3 on our countdown are magnetic hooks. The walls of your cabin are made of metal, and magnetic hooks can come in very handy. Hang your wet swimsuit on them, use them to hold your lanyards, or even that rain poncho that I told you about in tip number 6. The number 2 thing I always bring with me is a folder for important paperwork. Now, I admit that almost everything you need can be stored on your phone, but if your phone battery dies, your phone goes crazy, or heaven forbid gets lost or stolen, you're in for a lot of hassle. Having a folder with paperwork is a great backup plan. My folder always has printed copies of my flight information, boarding passes, hotel reservation information, a photocopy of my passport, any visas I might need, cruise itinerary, etc. When we get to our cabin, there's usually an envelope with our excursion tickets in it, and that goes into the folder too, just to keep everything together. If you're an all-digital person, more power to you, but it gives me peace of mind to have everything printed out just in case something goes wrong. And here we are at number 1. I never go on a trip without a multi-port USB charger. I just did a quick inventory of everything that I need to bring with me that requires charging with a USB cable. Now, there's my phone, the tablet, noise-canceling headphones, my camera, plus I have a wireless microphone system where I need to charge both the microphone and the receiver. That's about half a dozen things right there. Then my wife needs to charge her phone, her tablet, her headphones. It all adds up. I found that a charger with 10 ports works very well because we're not charging everything every night. Now, you may not need 10 ports, or you may need more if you're traveling with your family. I've seen chargers with as few as 2 ports and as many as 60 ports. Choose the one that best fits your needs. Now, as long as we're on the subject of cords and plugs and chargers, here are a couple things that you should know. Although rules vary from cruise line to cruise line, I found that most cruise lines do not allow you to bring power strips that have surge protectors on them. Regular power strips are usually allowed, but again, check with your cruise line just to be sure. The second thing you should know about is something that I've never experienced myself, but other cruisers have told me that when they leave their cabin and the cleaning people come in to take care of the room, they may unplug anything that's left plug in. I would assume that this is for safety reasons, so I would have no problem with this at all. Just to play it safe, charge things when you're in the cabin and unplug them when you leave. Hey, I know we have a lot of cruisers watching this video. Is there anything I've missed? What's your top must-bring thing on a cruise? Put it down in the comments section below. And thanks for watching. I'm Jeff, and I'll see you on the back roads or on the high seas.